We're here to understand the function of our bladder. We're here to retrieve and recall the experience of feeling full, to be able to respond to that, and then retrain the bladder to go to the toilet. Some of you are here, perhaps you get a small signal of fluid and it's ready to go. Some people might be retaining a little bit more and it's a full bladder by the time you get the signal. And those imbalances is what cause possible leakage, possible frequent urination, or sometimes not enough urination, but then when you need to go, you are bursting. And we're here to recalibrate this, right? This happens over a period of time. There's no miraculous secret step by step. We're here to understand our body. We're here to listen to our body. Everyone will be in a specific point in their ability to respond and listen to their body. So the information that I bring is very organic and not generalized as such. We go into specific points that helps us understand our awareness and help us understand how can we go in and feel and respond, right? Because the change happens when we respond to the need to go to the toilet in the right way, in the right time. So I bring all these understandings because you know how you are dealing with your bladder issues. Only you know. And of course, you could have very severe issues. People are dealing with it for years. And you could have just a general leakage, okay? This program does not stop you from trying, regardless of what condition you are dealing with. And I understand some could be dealing with very severe issues, because this is about going back in and learning how your bladder is talking to you, how your bladder is trying to get your attention. So even if you are dealing with severe issues, it's important to go in. Somatically, emotionally, bladder holds a lot of anger. And it could be anger in all different spectrum, okay? Anger about ourselves, anger suppressed in our childhood, anger towards our parents, anger towards our children, anger towards our job, partner. It could be anything. But at the end of the day, this anger was created by us, by perhaps a moment where we didn't have enough resources to think through in a more expanded way, and we felt very limited. And through that limited, mindset, we created a reaction. Some people might create a resentment. Some people might create anger. Some people might create grief. So we do then find these emotions as a coping mechanism. So anger is a coping mechanism, something that was repeatedly happening and you did not know how to react. You did not know what to do. You did not know how to make it stop. And therefore, we can become angry. If something was repeatedly happening and you did not know how to stop, you had no control over it, we could feel sad, we could feel resentment, we could feel isolated. So it's how we interpreted those situations in the past and how we coped with it that we then create this coping mechanism. Not all coping mechanism, especially when you're a child, especially if it's down to anger, when expressed, is going to be accepted by our parents, right? We're going to be told off. We're going to be put in our rooms for whatever time, right? They're not going to tolerate us being angry with an attitude. So after the coping mechanism was the way of you trying to find out how to deal with the situation, we then get punished, and then we have to suppress that anger. We're not allowed to express, we're not allowed to show it, we're not allowed to, right? So this is suppressed anger because of the way we interpreted certain situations, because of the way that we only knew how to react. And there's no blame, no shame here. It's because we had limited resources. Not all parents would know how to emotionally regulate a child if they cannot emotionally regulate themselves. And again, there's no blame or shame here. So if you grew up in a family, a functional, dysfunctional, I don't think there's such a thing as functional family. We are all dysfunctional families. And I think that when we grew up in a dysfunctional family, we create coping mechanisms, right? This is how the brain operates. This is how the brain works. Associations, recognizing patterns. And if we don't feel safe, how can we stop those patterns? How we can create coping mechanisms to deal with those patterns if they don't stop? And then how those coping mechanisms evolve over the years, through the evolution of your own mindset. Yeah, you're getting older, you're understanding the world a little bit more, you're making new limiting beliefs, you're making new stories about what could be, what could not be. And this is, we go in this, snowball effect. Yeah. But today you're asking questions. Today you're having effects on your own body. And here we're talking about the bladder. Yeah. So bladder is a place where the body holds anger. And we need to look back and see in the day of today, on a day-to-day basis, where you feel triggered, that a little bit of anger comes up and you actually suppress it, because those are the angers going back down into your bladder if you look at it metaphorically. Okay. And this is where you need to sit with it. You need to listen. You need to perhaps journal a little bit. And I'm not here to offer a step by step and everyone's going to follow and everyone's going to do well. Okay. I'm here to offer these insights and awareness and little tools and techniques of how to navigate this emotion. It's not an easy emotion to break the seal open and let the worms come out. It's an emotion that it can, you don't want to relive these type of emotions. You want to feel it and release it. The nervous system needs to release it as well. So we need to find a ways to, find safety in our nervous system to be able to feel it. Because if we don't feel safe to feel these emotions, we will suppress, because that's a coping mechanism. So the key is to find ways to help you feel safe. And there's so many unlimited ways. We're all different. We all come from different stories. We all come from different dysfunctional families. We all come from different cultures, limiting beliefs around society, around upbringing. So there's no one way. When I hear people offering a technique to cure back pain, to cure this, they always say, and pay attention to this, they always say they tried everything. Okay. And now they're down to this little step-by-step magical cure. But remember, they tried everything before that. They had a background of trying all different techniques, and they all worked in the past a little bit, but they did. It didn't cure them, but they did. And every time they try a different technique, a different medication, a different strategy, they shaved a little layer of that issue in the back, for example, back pain. And then eventually they found the point where they could reach the nervous system and they found a way to feel safe. And then they followed the guidance of the body. Of course, by that time, years of trying strategies, you are going to be very aware of what your body is asking for you to do. Like when you feel like you need to do a stretch, and you do it without thinking, or you need to do a movement to do a little crack on your neck, and you think, oh yeah, that felt better. This is guidance. This is inner guidance. So they find that point of safety. Whatever they throw in there, it's going to work because you are in a safe space. But of course, the mind is still limited at that point, thinking, well, this work, I must do that every time. And this is going to help me every time because you found that safety point. So when people are offering technique, and in my work for thousands of them, but might not work immediately for thousands of other people. And the reason is because those that actually found the step by step by step, perhaps was very close to that point of, can I find safety in my nervous system? So I'm not here to offer step by step. I'm not here to offer the miracle program. We're here to navigate this together. And it takes time and it takes effort and it takes a little bit of work. I'm not going to be sitting here and say, oh, if you do these nervous system resets, you're going to be well, and that's it. Nervous system needs to be reset all the time because the nervous system is open to the environment all the time, right? We are being bombarded with information, right? Technology, phone, we are being bombarded with constant input. So our nervous system is constantly active. And yes, we need to reset. We need to understand when our nervous system is going beyond that point that we can self-manage so that anxiety doesn't take over, right? Fear doesn't take over. And this is what the program is. We will do meditation. We will do self-awareness check-ins. We will do somatic release. We will do stretching. We will do small strategies to use through the day. But every time we're going to do one technique or another, first, we need to go into that safe space. And this is where the change happens. If you are just throwing in step-by-step strategies, affirmations, just saying, we need to first find how can we reset to that little safe space in the nervous system. And that takes practice. That takes trial and error. The nervous system is a dynamic piece of work in our body. It's not even fully understood. So we're here to really work on trial and error and be willing to, okay? And this is what I bring. This is the Aluma concept, because the concept is how can we find safety before we apply any technique. And as a physiotherapist, I have, I don't know, 20, 30 different technique styles. How do I know which one to use? How do I know which one to apply in the body, in a specific person, a specific muscle, right? That takes years of understanding, years of practice, years of trial and error, years of study, of course, but it takes that hands-on approach. And from that hands-on approach, what I've learned was a lot of the hands-on touch signals straight into the nervous system. And if we are bypassing that, like when going to a therapy and just get exercises, right? We are bypassing the depth of reaching that nervous system, that circuit that will find its way to regulate, to then allow change to happen. And it can change much quicker. So I'm not here to say exercise is no good. We're going to do exercise. We're going to do meditation. We're going to do energy work. We're going to do somatic work. We're going to do stretches. But most of all, we're going to listen to our body and respond. And this is the integration change, right? Listen, know what you're listening, respond, listen, respond, listen, respond. And this is how we regulate the bladder. And you can be asking, what if I do have a lot of emotions trapped and I don't know how to deal with it? This is why we're here together weekly, okay? Weekly and on group support day by day. Of course, if I detect that there is traumatic response more than beyond, I would suggest that we are open to find therapy, okay? But at the same time that we are open to come here in the support group and share and speak and let it out, because the suppress can become very overwhelming, and the overwhelming can make us feel like we can't not cope. We have been there. We have been there in every traumatic event in our lives, and that's the thing you don't want to relive. So here you need to come with a strategy very different than what you did when you were a child, and you did that when you were a child because you didn't have any resources. You were just reacting to the situation, finding a way out, reacting to the situation, finding a way out. We are an adult here looking for change. We're understanding that this doesn't serve us anymore. And you are here because you have done a lot more than most people probably tried in terms of self-healing, self-care, inner growth. And that's why you're here, okay? I would not working with anyone that have not stepped into that world yet. And I would suggest therapy. And that's why I ask you to sign the documents, because it's your responsibility as well, your accountability, but we're all here together. And I hope that you enjoy this. And every week we're going to be talking about different aspects of the bladder, understanding the anatomy a little bit. Nothing too boring, of course, but just enough that helps you understand, right, now I understand why this is happening in my body. Okay. And that piece of awareness is the key for change. Sometimes that is the key to allow you then to go a little bit deeper into that safe space. And we're always going to start with the safe space. So thank you so much for being in this course. We are meeting once a week. You're going to see the details of time, date, and we do have a group where we stay connected through the week. And you will outgrow this. And I hope you do. That's the idea, right? You will outgrow this. And when you do, feel free to help others. Feel free to exit if that's what you feel it resonates the most. But if you decide to stay, feel free to help others. We're here as one. And I thank you so much. We're going to take our time to reach a safe space in our system. While we're here, I want you to take a time to find a comfortable position. If you need to walk around the room for a bit, feel free to do it, shaking your arms. You can even do small little jumps. Maybe you want to put a candle on, drink water. Maybe light up your essence, a warm drink. These are all little tools that goes deep to the nervous system to give a message that you are preparing yourself to enter that safe space. Only sit down or find your comfortable position when you feel relaxed in your body. There's no rush. Give yourself a good stretch, like the one you have first thing in the morning. Give yourself a good yawn. Open your mouth wide. Allow that yawn to come out with all its power. That's a release of tension. And today we're here just trying to find a safe space, not just on the outside in the room that you are, but in your body. We don't need to go in any deep meditation yet. A safe environment is one that you know you're not going to be disturbed, that feels comfortable on the skin in terms of temperature. If you're a little bit cold, don't resist keeping yourself warm. If you're a little bit hot, don't resist finding ways to cool yourself. Maybe a hot bath, maybe a hot shower. And as you find yourself in these nice little moments of more calmness, more settled in, then you know you're ready to start any meditation. I invite you to try this phase up to now in this recording a few times before you decide to start the meditation. You might need to discover how your body can feel a little bit more relaxed than when you started. There's no right, there's no wrong. And this is why I'm here, giving you all these little insights, tools, ideas for you to try. Giving yourself a gentle hug, rubbing your hands up and down your arms, with your arms crossed on your chest. That's a nice way to send a message to your nervous system that you're being held, that you're preparing yourself to go a bit deeper. If you're sitting, rub your feet on the floor a little bit, and you can tell yourself that you're finding this feeling of being grounded, this feeling of being one with the earth. And you have the floor to hold you. You have the chair to hold you. And the bed is holding your body. The pillow is holding your head. Or you can just simply lie down, focus on your breath, in and out without holding breath. Being curious how the breath moves inside your body, following the awareness of it. How does the breath goes into your body and spread through all the parts of your body? And how is the breath released? How nourished do you feel? Before we reach this point of safety, your mind is going to race. The thoughts are going to be there, one after the other, non-stop. And you want to allow that flow to keep going, not fight with it. because we're trying to find a safe space. To allow the thoughts to flush in. You don't need to talk with it, but you can. There's no right, there's no wrong. Do what feels easier. The less resistance we create, the easier it is to enter a safe space in your nervous system. So either talk back with your thoughts or ignore, whichever feels easier. They will wind down, they will slow down, and they will disappear when you least expect. And you have your candle, you have your light, or maybe a dim light. Maybe you have an eye mask. Maybe you have a blanket over you. Maybe you have a warm drink. Maybe you've just done the most amazing stretch. Maybe all you did was roll your shoulders and you felt good. There's no right and wrong. This is your first phase of listening to your body and feeling your body and understanding what your body's asking. So you navigate deep into this safe space. In this safe space, we don't expect anything to happen. We don't imagine what could happen. We simply find the space to be. When you start to find that stillness, don't think of the future, what we're going to be asked to do. What am I supposed to see, to feel? There's nothing that you're supposed to see or feel. Any words, cue I use, your subconscious will work with it the way it needs. And whatever comes to you is what you need to see, is what you need to hear. You might feel that you could be creating it, making it up. Trust me, you're not. The feeling that we are creating is control. But you can still believe in it without a doubt. That your subconscious is using your own control to give you and send you these images, the messages, the understanding. This is the next part of feeling safe, creating a safe space. No expectations. Don't doubt what comes through. Everything is information, and every information, the ones that you need, will come back to you later. The ones you don't need, you will forget, because the subconscious is that clever. Don't try to remember everything. Trust. Whatever came through, you will remember the parts you really need and you need to trust. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. Breathe in through your nose. Drop your jaw and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in and breathe out. Find the space in your belly where the air fills up. Breathe into your belly. And breathe out. Let the air out all by itself. If you need to lie down, don't worry if you fall asleep. We're only trying to find a safe space within ourselves at first. You might need a few practices. To make sure the meditations are effective. We're trying to here practice eliminating any bias, self-sabotage, blockages, to immerse yourself in this meditation. And breathe. Let the mind flow. Let the stillness be there. If you're struggling with the stillness, this is you weaving in and out of safety mode and survival mode. And if you get to this point, definitely have something to work with. Breathe in the stillness. Shake your body in the stillness. And then you come out of the stillness. And you breathe and you go back in again, and that's okay. Eventually, the stillness feels more comfortable to be in it. You can hold it for longer and longer and longer. And breathe. Thank you for being here. I suggest you try this finding a safe space within yourself a few times before you jump into the meditation. On our weekly sessions, I'll be able to answer all your questions of how you felt, what you experienced, what you noticed, what you want to ask. And this is how we navigate together. Yeah. It's a lot of sensory input, somatic input, muscle input, nervous system input, and it can be quite a lot of information on your own. And this is how we're here. We're here to support each other. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. And welcome to the somatic module. So the somatic module, I'm going to break it down because during the meditations, I'm preparing you for you to make the most of the meditations. What I don't want you to do is to jump into the meditation and not have all the tools to be able to follow through because it won't be effective. So I'm preparing your body, preparing your mind, your nervous system, your awareness, everything. This meditation will bring vibrations, okay? And when I say vibrations, not the vibrations that we can feel something vibrate. They bring frequency of healing. And healing penetrates the body regardless whether we feel or not. Who accepts the healing is not necessarily you, your mind, is your soul. The healing is accepted at soul level. If you're here, your soul guided you here. So your soul is already consented, yes. In energy healing, the consent is on the receiver, okay? A person can send love to everyone in the world. Only those souls that says, yes, I receive, will receive. The other ones is just going to go pass by, out, and that way. So be assured that if you're here, if you found this program, it's because your soul guided you here. So what is the somatic module? It's very simple. I will guide you to feel your bladder. Because when you can touch your muscle, your skin, you can touch your face, you can touch your hand, your hair, you can do this and you can feel movement in the hair and the scalp. That's why you know the hair is being touched. But if you just touch the hair like this, you might feel the movement, but you don't know the hair is being touched. Okay. And this is the feeling not the feeling, but that's the preconception and limiting belief that we think that we cannot feel the organs inside our body, such as the brain, the nerves, the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, the bladder, the bowel. We only feel when things are trying to send this message in terms of through pain, right? Through movement, like bowel, intestinal movement. The heart, when the heart rate is very, very high, we can feel it beating. And, I've heard stories and I've experienced myself, but when I did a liver detox, I felt my liver. I could not explain, but I felt my liver. And this is what led me to understand that we have an ability to become aware of our own inner organs. So this is what we're going to do, is that somatic awareness of your bladder, because that's one of the first steps for you to understand when do you need to go to the toilet, when you need to respond, when you need to actually allow the bladder to stretch, when you need to allow the bladder to not stretch so much, because we are here and everyone is here with a different type of bladder issue. Remember, some bladders will be very expanded and puffed out and hard. Some bladders will be very floppy and shriveled and not much responding to that expansion of dilation and elasticity. Some bladders will be halfway in the middle, not able to expand, not able to collapse and create that pressure to urinate. So we all here in a different way, and that's why you need to find out which way you are. You need to understand so that you can start from the point where you are and progress with the program. Yes, an ultrasound can help understand a lot more what's going on, but for you to understand the cues that your bladder is trying to send you, it's only enough for you to just do somatic work. Somatic work, respond, and we create the change, we create the integration. So here we're going to understand if we can feel a bladder and just relax. Let's find that safe space again. So if you have practice finding that safe space within yourself, you are ready for this next step before all the meditations. Okay. And I will add some music again and get started. We're going to breathe, going to that safe space. If you need to pause, do your little routine, your little ritual, and then come in. Let's do that. When you're ready, let's just breathe. With your feet grounded on the floor. Nice and grounded, feeling the floor, feeling the chair supporting you, allowing the chair to support your body, where you can rest your back. Breathe in, hold the air into your belly. Drop the jaw open and breathe out through your mouth. Relax the shoulders. Relax the base of your neck. Notice how you're feeling. Any subtleness changes. We're going to do a little practice. There is no right or wrong. There is no reason. We're not here to figure anything out. The mind will try to explain. The mind will try to investigate. And all you can say is, and you can rephrase however you need. Mind, thank you. But right now, I'm here to feel. You say it out loud, your subconscious will hear it really nicely. Mind, I'm not here to understand, investigate, and find answers. I'm here to feel. Notice the subtle changes in your body, in your head. As you say it, maybe once, twice, 3 times. Give yourself time to feel the subtleness of change. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is rest your hands on your thighs, nice and slowly. Open your fingers wide. And I want you to pay attention and focus the feeling that you become aware of the shape of your hand and your legs. Rest the hand, relax the hand, and go and focus in that feeling. Feel the shape of your hands on your leg without moving, without pressure, just resting. And as you remove your hands, keep your hands in the air. Notice how you can still feel the shape of your hands on your leg for a few seconds. Notice what's going on in the palms of your hand as well. The sensation that you're still touching your leg. This is awareness. This is somatic awareness. Takes practice, takes time. And that's why finding the safe space is important before you come here for the module of somatic awareness. And I would like you to place one hand at the lower belly where the bladder would be, and one on your heart. Or you can place 2 hands on the belly. Rest your elbows. Notice the subtle change of awareness through your hands, through your head, through your belly. I want you to imagine light radiating from your hand deep into your bladder, womb, belly, stomach. Imagine how deep that light can reach inside your body. Is there a color to this light? Is there a shape to this light? Is there a texture to this light? And I want you to command your subconscious for this light to find your bladder. I command my subconscious for this light to surround the bladder. Lit up, illuminate my bladder so I can feel, sense, and understand. And as the bladder starts to take shape in your eyes, mind's eyes, in your belly, however it comes up for you, hologram, outside your body, inside your body, doesn't matter. What is the shape? What is the texture? What is the color? What is the emotion? What is the sensation? Is it constriction? Is it tightness? Openness? Stiffness? Flexibility? How much fluid can you feel in the bladder? Half full to the brim, quarter full. Zoom in into the liquid. Is the liquid clear, cloudy? What's the texture? What's the color? What's the emotion? Stay with that image visualization for as long as it stays with you. If you're done, you're done. If you're still with it, stay with it. Be the observer. The image can change, might stay the same. Your higher self might send light and love. Stay with it. See if you notice tension in your body, any other body parts. If your visualization escaped, disappeared all by itself, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If you're still with it, I would like you to illuminate this bladder with the beautiful shimmery light, any color. And bring the visualization to match and merge with your own bladder inside your body. Notice your breath, subtle changes in awareness, and allow that to merge. A nice deep breath that comes all on its own is a good sign of completion. And breathe. And come around nice and easy. Move your hands back to your legs. Wide fingers open and rest there. Notice the sensation in your tummy still. Notice the sensation now on your legs, your hands. Just your awareness drifting away from your tummy. Notice any emotions, any sensations. And if anything comes up, stay with it still. You're not done. Breathe into your heart. Gently open your eyes. Come around. And here we are, somatic experience. And again, in the live calls, we'll be able to go over. I offer you to write it down, what you experienced, what you noticed, what you understood. And bring your questions. Expect the next few days to help you understand a lot more about your bladder. You might notice, oh, I need the toilet much sooner than normal. Respond to those feelings. Yeah, respond to those feelings. And I look forward to navigating with you in the next meditation. Meditation 1, which is introduction to restoring our connection with our bladders. Okay, thank you so much.